This MMA 30 segment is powered by The Gun Store. Next time you're in Las Vegas, if you want to shoot a real machine gun, do it at The Gun Store at 2900 East Tropicana.
Yeah, the UFC Encyclopedia that Tom Jabasi came out with is, we're just out here at the Barnes & Noble's promoting it. It's been a great experience. To be a part of it, to be actually in the book, to, at this point in my career, to sit there and now it's been, solidified that I, have a part in the UFC history. It's a very humbling moment. And I never get tired of really doing the signings. I mean, obviously there's times when I'm sitting at home and I don't want to get up to go somewhere, but I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be a signing, it could be anything. But usually whenever I'm here and getting to interact with the fans, it's always turned out, for me, it's always been a positive situation. And in the 10 years of being a professional fighter, I've never had a bad experience. When fighters, and young guys are talking about the anxiety of dealing with autograph signings and dealing with media and dealing with, it's part of our career, so one, it's not going anywhere, so you have to get used to it. And then just use the same format that they use for fights. I just tell them, like, hey, when you first fought, the first couple times you even sparred, you probably, were nervous as all get out. But the more you do something, it's like exposure therapy, you get accustomed to it. Plus then you can, you can look at your performance in the octagon or in practice and critique it and build upon it. And the same thing with doing interviews. So I say just try not to avoid situations or avoid interviews, because each one's a learning experience. You can learn from it, take from it, and the more you do it, the more at ease you will become and sit in front of a camera. Yeah, I love Walking Dead. Zombie, I remember watching my first zombie movie. It was Dawn of the Dead, the original. Back when I was a kid, I must have been 5 or 6. I have good parents. I snuck and watched it. But anyways, it was instant, like fantasy. In fact, I always tell my wife, if I'm like jerking around asleep, I'm probably having dreams of killing zombies, don't wake me up. It makes me mad. Because it's like the best of all worlds. You're sitting there and you're getting to like blow people up, and it's like a video game in real life, but without the moral dilemma of actually hurting a real live human being. So it's like, it's awesome. It's the best of everything. I always sit there and I've watched almost every zombie movie out there you can imagine, Italian zombie movies. I don't even understand what they're saying. I'm trying to read the subtitle. Bad ones, some really good ones. I love them all. I sit there and just constantly just fantasize about, like, wow, how great would it be. In fact, I was actually hoping that Y2K would have worked out. I'm sitting there, I'm like 19 years old, 20, just, oh man, this would be awesome if this, works out, prepared, and I was disappointed. I think Overeem's not going to do very well at all. I think that strikers in general that do very well keeping it on their feet, that don't want to go to the ground at all. Anderson Silva's a great example. I don't think he's ever shot at anybody. He keeps on the feet, but it's his footwork is so phenomenal. Not just his, obviously he's a very hard striker. He's put a lot of guys down, but his ability to move and be elusive. Overeem's a very powerful striker, but elusiveness I don't see. And so when you have two guys, sitting there and see who's going to go, well, then I think that favors the grappler. I don't think strikers are very, proficient in our sport unless they have great footwork to evade the takedown. Roy Nelson made another prediction that, that Overeem won't be facing Lesnar because Lesnar's going to pull out again due to illness, a reoccurring illness, and that I would be bumped up to fight him, and then Roy will, gladly go ahead and take in and jump in and fight Nogueira. After he made that prediction, and it's on film, you can't dispute it, of the whole thing happening with Shane Carwin. When we first found out that Brock would be doing the reality show with the JDS. He was like, he'll never finish it. They're doing it to help get the TV show ratings. And then before they fight, Carwin is going to step in. Because think about it, Carwin's already slated to fight on the June card, and he has no opponent, or he has nobody, no one knows who the guy is, and and he won't. I keep asking to fight him, and they won't give him to me, and that's when the wheels in his head started turning. And that was a pretty savvy call, and ever since he made that one, I give him credence. When he started speaking, I kind of listened.
This MMA 30 segment is powered by The Gun Store. Next time you're in Las Vegas, if you want to shoot a real machine gun, do it at The Gun Store at 2900 East Tropicana.